Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at GrowFold, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at the Home Depot out in McKinney, Texas. As always, please make sure you are pressing that thumbs up or like button for this video, as well as give me a follow on Instagram. My name is at GrowFolds on there. If you have any questions about the plants or just want to get in touch with me directly, I would love that. So it is a late afternoon. I just got off of work and I decided to go ahead and go to this Home Depot because I have been featuring a lot of big box stores that feature Lowe's, but Home Depot is the home for so many amazing houseplants as well, specifically proven Winners Leafjoy plants. And one thing I did want to highlight in this video is the fact that Proven Winners is constantly pushing the envelope when it comes to the types of indoor tropical plants, as well as the aesthetic or stylistic approach on how to display the plants. So we're definitely going to see that. Things that are super exciting so far in terms of just what's going on with me personally is I will be going to PlantCon 2025 in New York City this coming Friday and Saturday. I fly back to North Dallas, which is where I'm based at, this coming Sunday, but I will be looking at so many amazing plants. And then for those that are new to the channel, I do call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. My name is Richie and I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. I am excited to have you on today's video because we will be featuring a lot of indoor tropical plants, but you already know if I'm going to go to Home Depot, I will also show you some of the outdoor gardening plants, which is going to be at the very beginning of this video. I've also gotten into my bonsai hobby again, so we're going to go further tackle that in just a bit, but you can see right here, this is some of the plants that are on sale. It looks like a lot of the trees and shrubs that are white ticketed or marked are going to be 50% off. So, you know, it depends on the seasonality of the plants on whether you can really save a lot of money going shopping. You know, a lot of people are very much budget conscious. I would say I am to a certain extent, but when it comes to buying plants such as Aglaonema, my budget just goes out the door and I spend, which is not always a good thing. But as you can see right here, I'm just panning around and showing you some of the outdoor plants. It's been a minute since I've actually shown you some of the Home Depot plants. So hopefully today you will be excited to go shopping at Home Depot. I know that it is always a fun time for me when I go to Home Depot, especially ones that carry a lot of proven winner Leafjoy plants, as well as healthy and cost-effective plants from Vigor plants. But before we get into that, plant foldies, I am super excited to finally show you my unboxing of the bonsai supplies that I received a generous amount from the Bonsai Supply store. This is a company that is based out in Houston, Texas. I have been using the Bonsai Supply soil for many years now. I used to buy it off of Amazon, but you can actually buy this directly from the bonsaisupply.com. And you can see right here, this is their all-purpose, fast-draining soil that you can utilize for your bonsai. And for those that don't know, the bonsai is the art of growing beautiful miniature trees, and it is one that takes so much dedication. It is definitely creating living works of art, and in order to make living works of art, you really have to have premium soil and supplies. And I am just super excited that the Bonsai Supply company sent me this package of all of the supplies that I have used for many years. So you can see right here, I am struggling to unbox this. This is the organic, slow release, all-purpose fertilizer that is also made and sourced out in the United States. So all of their supplies in terms of just the soils and their fertilizers are sourced out and created in the United States. You can see right here, it is a gentle organic fertilizer and it is all purpose, so you can utilize it for a lot of your plants. Here's the thing about the Bonsai Supply soil. It is definitely a complete soil. It is one that you can utilize as well for your succulents and cactus. So if you don't necessarily grow bonsai, you can actually utilize their soils because it is fast draining. So it's really good for even your succulents, your cactus, and your sansevieria, any type of plant that just just needs fast draining soil. You can see that the Bonsai Supply has also sent me different types of wire gauges, as well as their other fertilizer right over here. You can see that this one is the non-organic fertilizer. So you have different choices, and all of these products you can find on the bonsaisupply.com or bonsaisupply.com. I do have an affiliate link for that. That is going to be in all of my descriptions for my YouTube videos. And I'm just really excited to be able to finally show you all of the amazing products that I received from Bonsai Supply. You can see right over here, this one is the black lava rock. So you can utilize these types of soils to amend your soil. So say you need to make your all-purpose soil a little bit more fast draining, you can utilize a lot of these soil amendments for it. So you can see that I've got 3 different types of soils. I am going to be using the all-purpose mixture that they already have on the very left, and I am so thankful that they even sent me other supplies such as this potting mat. And just know, plant foldies, that I will utilize in another video a demonstration of using all of their supplies. So I just wanted to show you guys what types of supplies I got from Bonsai Supply. Super excited that I met the owners when I was actually at PlantCon Houston 2025, and I'm just so thankful and honored that they chose me to be one of their affiliates to actually promote and share their products. I mean, you can see right here, we've got some stainless steel scissors, and what I like about the Bonsai Supply supplies that I've received in the past couple of years, aside from just getting this really generous package, is the fact that these soils do work. You can utilize it for a lot of your plants. You don't really have to worry about root rot. It is just fast draining. And I love the fact that all of the ingredients that they use is sourced from the United States. This is made in the USA, and we definitely want to support American products. This is an American company, and I just love the fact that the owners and the company really trusted me to show you all of these soils. So if you are interested in utilizing Bonsai Supply soils, please utilize my promo code for 10% off any of the supplies on your orders. Just use the promo code GROWFOLDS. It's just one word when you check out, and you will receive 10% off your entire order for these supplies. These are high quality supplies. This is some of the best bonsai supplies you can utilize, and this is just great products to use for a lot of your plants in general. So I urge everybody to follow the Bonsai Supply on Instagram and shop today. And I have to say, I'm just really excited to become an official affiliate for the bonsaisupply.com. You know, the bonsai that I've done in the past, it's something that I haven't really shared on this YouTube channel. Unless you are part of my YouTube membership tier, there is clips of my bonsai collection that I've done in the past. So again, plant foldies, if you haven't already, consider joining my YouTube membership tier for only the price of a cup of coffee. It's only $2.99. Just press the join button if you're watching this on a computer, but if you are not, I will have the direct link pinned in the comment section to join. You'll get access to some of the more membership exclusive only videos. You'll get access to some custom emojis and other perks for this YouTube channel. And at the end of the day, it just makes this YouTube channel a little bit more sustainable for me to continue to make this type of content for our plant foldy community. But anyways, to go to all of the plants here, you can see that I am showing you a lot of these Home Depot outdoor garden plants. A lot of these are by Vigoro plants. You can see this is a potato vine, the purple version. And, you know, as far as potato vines, especially if you live in my grow zone, which is 8B, out in North Dallas, you can grow that as an annual plant. It is definitely heat tolerant of a plant. It is a vigorous grower, and you can let it cascade off of planters. You can put it in an enclosed flower bed. Just know that it could be a little bit invasive, so you just need to make sure that it is definitely entrapped in some type of flower bed. Otherwise, it will spread. The good thing about annual plants is that they only grow for one growing season, so something that could potentially be invasive will disappear when winter comes. So We're going to be looking at all of these other plants here, but I will also highlight the fact that the Home Depot out in McKinney, Texas, this is the one off of Custer Road, if you're familiar of this area, is one of the ones that has a really good organization when it comes to their plants. I would even say in general, the Home Depots in the Dallas-Fort Worth area are really organized well, especially the outdoor garden centers. So you can see right here, I'm just walking around and kind of just showing you what is still available in the late summer months at big box stores. You know, big box stores will typically carry a lot of these outdoor plants, and then when fall comes around, you will see lots of plants such as Croton petras, like this right here. You can see that we have a lot of crotons. There is a Croton mame, which is a different type of croton, and again, with crotons, a lot of people will just grow these plants as an annual decorative patio plant. I would say that growing crotons indoors long term is a little bit challenging because of the lighting requirements. So as we continue to go big box or plant shopping, or even just plant shopping in general, one thing that I will always highlight is lighting requirements, because lighting requirements is really critical when it comes to taking care of plants. That some plants will need a little bit more light. They need light to photosynthesize, to get the food that it needs in order for it to live. So with croton plants, they definitely need quite a bit of light in order for them to do well. Honestly, they need to be growing outdoors in full sun. Otherwise, they just don't do as well indoors. If you're going to grow crotons indoors, you definitely need to grow it under a grow light, put it right next to a south-facing window or a west-facing window, which is where you will get the most light. So that's what I would say in terms of croton plants. And then we're just going to look at all of the other plants here. You can see we've got some oleander plants, we've got some Zora plants, and I love the look of a canna lily, but we're going to take a look at these Zora blooms right over here, and in the canna lilies. So this one is for $19.98. Look at that dark burgundy color of this particular canna lily. Really like the look of this plant, and I would even say in certain grow zones, not 100% sure which grow zones, but they can be considered perennial plants as well. And you can see right here we have a bunch of oleander plants, and oleander are highly poisonous even to humans, so you really don't want this if you have any furry friends, or in my case, I am actually growing and raising backyard chickens. I have a Barred Rock chicken and a Rhode Island Red. Their names are Charlotte and Catriona, for those that don't know about my little chickens. And if you continue to watch my content and my plant shopping videos, I will insert certain clips of my beautiful backyard chickens. They are growing very well. They will be 4 months on September 5th. So they're getting close to that age of getting egg laying. So anyways, I'm just going to go spin around here and continue to show you some of these outdoor plants. So we're now looking at the copper leaf plant right here. Really love the look of the copper leaf plant, $19.98. Beautiful plant that we have here. I love the variegation, and I remember buying this from a local nursery called North Haven Gardens in Dallas, Texas. I really wanted to grow this as an indoor tropical plant. Not sure how long the sustainability would be for this particular plant, but it is considered a perennial in my grow zone. Unfortunately, I didn't pot this up to where I left it outside, and winter came and winter took it to plant heaven. But in terms of the copper leaf plant, it does need quite a bit of light. Look at that variegation though. And you know, we talk about certain plants that are going to be plants that you can try to grow long term indoors. That's something that I would try to do eventually at some point. But the reason why I like the copper leaf plant, it is one that we don't really talk about. And when you think about a lot of the indoor tropical plants we see during these big box or plant shopping videos, know that these plants actually originate from someplace in the world where they are growing outdoors. So there's really no such thing as an indoor house plant. I would say the better term is a plant that is adaptable to growing indoors in a house, because all of these plants came from some source some environment outdoors. Now over here we have a beautiful canna lily. Again, this is another one with a lot of beautiful striping. This almost reminds me of a uncommon and absolutely stunning aglaonema called Aglaonema Golden Hope. It is by the Indonesian hybridizer Greg Hambali. So for those that obviously love aglaonema, and I already know plant foldies, you guys should be into aglaonema if you've been following my videos for a while. Search online Greg Hambali aglaonema hybrids and you'll see the rare and beautiful ones that a lot of people may not see in this part of the world, which is the United States. But as far as this one almost looks like a doppelganger of the Aglaonema Golden Hope. And then we're gonna just walk around here again. Oh my gosh, I love the look of that copper leaf plant, that pink variegation. And then as I spin around here, we're gonna be seeing some shrubs and other types of outdoor plants. This is the Texas sage. And then we're gonna be looking at this. So this one is a Clusia plant for $15.98. So I know that Vigoro plants had them for like what, $5.98 as a starter plant, but you can see that this is what it looks like when it gets larger. It is more of a tropical shrub here, and I've never seen it in this size. So you can see that this Clusia plant can get large. It is one of the plants that needs a lot of light as well as higher humidity levels. It is more of a tropical plant. When you touch the leaves, it has a thicker rubbery texture to the leaves. It's one that I would think would be easy to propagate through plant cuttings. I would assume that it would easily root. And then we're going to spin around here and look at some of the indoor tropical plants. So we are now at the main event, and I'm just going to pan around here and show you what they have available. I love the look of the Monstera deliciosa leaves. That fenestration is beautiful, and that heart-shaped leaf. And then we see right here, we have another beautiful Croton Petra. And my advice is, if you're going to grow crotons, I will repeat myself today and every day that I feature crotons. Grow your crotons outdoors, grow them in full sun, and water them frequently, and you will get a full-blown tree. If you do try to overwinter them, basically if you have winters that get super cold, take them indoors, but definitely grow them under a grow light, and they may do well for you. I know that long term they could become beautiful indoor trees. You just have to make sure you give them a lot of light. And you can see right here we've got two different types of Tradescantia zebrinas. This one is a more purple variety. This one is for $12.98. And I did touch on the fact that my grandmother did propagate a lot of plants for sale. For those that don't know, my Lola Belen, which means grandmother in Tagalog, which is the national language of the Philippines. I am a proud Filipino American. My Lola Belen is 90 years old. She's been featured on this YouTube channel a couple of times. She recently had an accident where she fell and fractured her hip. For those that continue to pray for her recovery, thank you so much. She is on the road for recovery. I did get to speak to her last week and visit her. She definitely wants to continue to push herself to recover, but she also wanted to extend a super thanks to everybody for just all of the prayers. But she did have many plants that she was propagating because she was going to sell at a farmer's market in North Houston, but obviously that wasn't in the cards for her. I did take a lot of her plants with me back to Dallas, and I will be doing an Instagram story sale where I will post a picture of the plant and the price, and all you have to do is hit claim for it. Now, as far as shipping, shipping is going to be a flat rate of, I believe, $7, and I think for any additional plants I may just add another $1 or $2, but we will get all of the details for that. That's just a rough estimate, so I will actually have the details on my Instagram. So for those that have already shown interest in getting plants from my grandmother, really appreciate that. But anyways, let's go back to these plants right here. You'll notice that they've got these beautiful Monstera deliciosas. $14.98 is actually a pretty good price, but I've noticed that this Home Depot has a huge mega sale on plants, and these are some of them. So we've got these tropical plants for $10. Can you believe? $10 for an 8-inch planter, normally $14.98. And look at how lush and full and beautiful these plants are. Look at this Ficus lyrata, for instance. $14.98 is the original price, but now Home Depot has them on sale for only $10. Plant foldies, that is a steal. And even if I'm not a fan of Ficus lyrata per se, just because I feel like they're a little bit more challenging, I am gonna definitely buy a Ficus lyrata today. I debated on getting a Monstera deliciosa, but I will definitely buy a Ficus lyrata, because what I've noticed is with all of my ficus plants, growing them outdoors, and I keep saying this, growing them outdoors in full sun have really helped make the plant care so much easier. But you can see this one right here. This is a Monstera deliciosa for only $10. And yes, it is just a green form. Yes, you know, more people are into the variegated Monsteras, the Monstera albo, the Monstera Thai constellations, the Monstera Thai constellation mutations. That is the trending plant, but let's not forget about the beautiful green plants, because when a plant is green, it is more sustainable. It's definitely going to be a faster, more vigorous grower, because it can actually process, you know, has more chlorophyll and can photosynthesize. Now we're going to go into even more of the main event, and that is to actually talk about the proven Winners Leafjoy plants. So we're going to go through here with each and every one of them. This is for $9.98. This one is a black velvet begonia. So for my begonia plant foldy lovers, and we do have quite a bit of people who love begonias. My grandmother absolutely loves begonias. She can grow begonias like they're weeds. I tend to have a little bit more of a challenging situation when growing begonias, but the care for begonias, this one I believe is a Rex begonia, is you want to bottom water them. You don't really want to get the petioles or stems wet, because they can potentially rot. I would say the angel wing or cane begonias are a lot easier to take care of. Epipremnum aureum, jade pothos. So this is basically the green classic jade pothos, very easy plant, $9.98. This is one that I would recommend for anybody that is wanting to get an easy care, basic, but affordable house plant. Definitely add yourself a pothos plant, any type of Epipremnum aureum, which is a scientific term for these plants. Very easy to propagate. They do need bright indirect light. They can tolerate lower light conditions. $9.98, we have another twirly whirly fern. This is another beautiful plant. I'm not really a fan of ferns, and the only reason why I'm not is because they tend to be a little bit more challenging in terms of being able to grow them long term. Now, as far as the spider plant, beautiful plant right here. And for those that have not watched my local plant nursery video, definitely look and search on my YouTube channel. I have a playlist of local plant nurseries. Go look at Plants and Planters nursery tour that I did. You will see a massive spider plant, but this one right here is for $9.98. I really like that as well, and it is pet friendly. So for those that have pets, you got to also consider the fact that it needs to be pet friendly. And then we also have a Peperomia obtusifolia. So one thing I will say about those types of plants is you have to do your research on what is pet friendly. For me, the fact that I have backyard chickens, and I've mentioned this in my videos, but all of my quote indoor house plants, I've actually put in a outdoor setting where they're growing in my back patio in a shaded pergola and they're aglaonema, and aglaonema are toxic to pets, so I have to only let my chickens out when I am around, otherwise they will chew on my aglaonema. So that's one thing that we have to also consider, plant foldies, is whether a plant is pet friendly. So I do urge any of the plant foldies watching today, if you are versed in what are pet friendly plants, I would love for you to leave comments in the comments section. I would love that as well, just because we learn from each other. I'm not an expert by any means when it comes to plants. I'm actually really thankful and honored that you guys give me the time of day to just talk myself about plants and just let you guys listen to me ramble about plants, plant care tips, plant insights, how to save money on big box store plants, all of the above. Now, as far as these Proven Winner Littles, I love them because they're pretty cost effective. I mean, $5.98. You can see all of the different types of Fittonias. So I'm gonna just keep picking these plants up and show you. I really love the fact that Proven Winners Leafjoy plants, these house plants, also have a wide selection of budget-friendly, cost-effective Hoyas. So if you are a Hoya head, you can see that one is a Hoya that is actually sun-stressed. And you can see we also have more of those Monsteras, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick up some more of these Hoyas that are available from Proven Winners Leafjoy. These are the Proven Winner Littles. They're for $5.98, which is not a bad price at all. But if you actually go big box store plant shopping and you get lucky, Home Depot will actually put these on sale as well for 50% off. Really happy that I was able to find a plant that was on sale. You know, those Monstera Deliciosas and the Ficus Lyratas for $10. That is not a bad price for the size. But we're gonna go ahead and continue to pick up a lot of these plants right here. This one is another Fittonia. This one is called Fittonia Jade. So with Proven Winners plants, they have different names for a lot of these plants. Some of them are don't have the common names, but they're the common plant. I love the red color of this particular plant. You know, Fittonias, as much as I want to grow them indoors or actually have a collection of them, they are more challenging in a sense that they are a little bit more of a thirsty plant. They need higher humidity levels, and there's just a lot more when it comes to growing them. Now we also have a beautiful Scindapsus. This one is Sage and Cream Scindapsus for $5.98 by Proven Winners Leafjoy. Proven Winners Leafjoy Littles. This one is for only $5.98. So whenever you see a fixture and shelves of lots of full displays of Proven Winner plants, I have to ask the plant foldies, would you be inspired to go shopping for more of those plants, or is it something that you can restrain yourself from purchasing plants? For me, it tends to be more of a challenging situation because I want to just buy it all, and that's not always the healthiest thing to do for your budget, or even more so your time that you're going to invest with the plant care. Plant care is critical. It's one of those things where you definitely need to make sure you have time to water the plants. You have the environment that you need in terms of growing them long-term in an indoor space. But you can see right here, Scindapsus Sage and Cream by Proven Winners Littles, $5.98. You know, Scindapsus is similar to Epipremnum aureum, or what you call Pothos plants. They are trailing plants, but you can also grow them on a totem pole, a moss pole, or some type of support where they are going going to actually grow very well. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to pick up some plants right here. This one is Hoya sea stones. I love that green on green variegation. And, you know, with this particular Hoya, you can actually sun stress this to where it will have red margins. This one is for $9.98. It does have a ceramic catch pot, so that is what drives the price a little bit more. But to me, if you ask me, Proven Winners Leafjoy plants, I love the fact that they have different types of collections. They are able to push out different types of plants. You know, whenever you go big box store plant shopping, for instance, if you go to Lowe's, you'll see that Costa Farms plants has a lot of the big box store plants, but Proven Winners, if you're able to go to a Home Depot and see that they actually offer some plants that Costa Farms doesn't. And this is another message I would say for anybody that loves collecting plants, is to diversify where you buy your plants. I say this in every single video, and yes, I know some people want to roast me and say, well, Richie, you are super repetitive. I know I'm super repetitive, but to not go on a full tangent, all I have to say is this for anybody that wants to roast me is you've got to be your most authentic self. I feel like repetition is key to actually having people gain that knowledge, but also put that in practice. I have specific routines throughout the day, and you know, one of them is making big box or plant shopping videos. I've kind of fallen off of that, but here I am back at it, showing you these Leafjoy Littles by Proven Winners, and this one is a really interesting Fittonia. So you can see that the name right there kind of signifies that it is sun stress, but it's not. It actually has those like almost like burnt leaves, but it's not burned. It just looks like it's been bleached, but it's not necessarily. That's just how that Fittonia grows. And that's the thing about certain plants, is there are many different types of hybrids, and I just love the fact that you can choose the new varieties of hybrids. And I just love the fact that you know, you can go to a big box store now and see that there's many of them that you can pick and choose from. So, you know, as far as the plants that are available, I love it. And hopefully you guys will get into more of those plants that are available in terms of hybrids. Now we're going to be looking at terrariums. So here's the thing about terrariums. Love the look of terrarium plants, and Proven Winners is the first, at least big box store type nursery that has provided terrarium. So these are the plants that have like a specific like environmental requirement. These are the ones that need higher humidity levels. So you'll see right over here, we got some Fittonias, we've got some fern, we've got even a Syndapsis. And in the bigger one right over there, we actually have a Calathea. And we always talk about Calatheas being a very challenging plant to grow long term. So in terms of that, I just love the fact that Proven Winners, they've got a terrarium ready to go, and that is super pretty. This one I believe is for $79.98, but you've got a Calathea, you've got Fittonia. So as far as the environmental requirements, these plants are going to grow better long term, and that's really something that we have to kind of visit and look at, is whether these plants are going to be sustainably able to grow long term. I do love the fact that terrariums have a biodome to where it pretty much recycles the moisture and water if you keep it closed. So you don't necessarily have to water it as frequently. I actually have a lamp that I had put leca in, and I put some pothos cuttings, and it basically is its own little terrarium as well. So I might show the plant foldies that it's probably going to go in my YouTube membership tier. And again, plant foldies, if you made it this far into the video, number one, thank you so much for taking the time to engage and watch throughout my videos, because watch time is super important. It's really how YouTube will recommend people to your videos. And then also, if you haven't already, press the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. I would love for our YouTube community to grow. I think we just need about 200 new subscribers to make it to 13,000 plant foldies, and I couldn't have done it without y'all. So hopefully we can get to that subscription number soon. For me, it's more important though to have that genuine engagement. Oftentimes as content creators, we look at like numbers, but I've got to actually look and reframe it as, would I rather have all of these subscribers, but nobody's watching my videos, nobody's interacting on the live chats, no one's leaving comments, no one's pressing the like button? Or would I have a very engaged set of viewers, is what I'm trying to say, and actually have that engagement? So I would choose the latter. And again, shout out to all the plant foldies that continuously get on the live chat. You already know who you are, but I will shout out, for instance, Charmed, Evelyn, Eric, David, Kathy, Teal, and so many others. If I missed shouting you out, just know that I appreciate y'all. But you know, in the last couple of days, we haven't had nearly as many people watching the videos. I'm not sure if it's just not getting recommended to people, or maybe my inconsistency has caused people to not just jump on at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we'll see. But let me go ahead and just keep showing you these proven winner plants. Like this one right here is the Hoya Matilde Splash, only for $5.98. And if you are a Hoya head or somebody that loves Hoyas, you already know that this plant is actually one that is an uncommon and rare plant. So for me, just being able to get these is actually a great thing, because it is a very much so budget friendly and cost effective, and we love budget friendly and cost effective plants. So I'm just going to continue to walk around and show y'all all the other plants right here. Feel free to leave in the comment section what you think. For me, just seeing the variety of different types of proven winners littles, I just get super excited to see that we have these available for everybody to go shop for. You know, we always look for plants that are going to be cheap or inexpensive is a better term. And for me, this right here is super cheap. $5 Anthurium. Can you believe that? $5 Anthurium is provided by what is it? Proven Winners. This is growing hydroponically. And you'll notice that we have several of these different types of plants available by Proven Winners Leafjoy. So if you're looking to save some money, again, the Proven Winners Leafjoy plants, the little ones are only for $5.98. And now we have these right here. Now these ones are originally $19.98, but this Home Depot has Proven Winners Leafjoy houseplants on sale right now for only $14.98, somewhere around that range. But this is the Ficus lyrata Taniki, or not Ficus lyrata, sorry, Ficus elastica Taniki. And then we also have another Ficus benjamina, the variegated form right here. We have a beautiful philodendron of some sort. I'm not 100% sure what philodendron it is, but I do love the neon colored plant. I love the look of this Ficus benjamina. This is the variegated form. And you know, this is another type of indoor plant that really needs to be growing outdoors. It is also a great specimen to use as bonsai, so you can train this to become a miniature tree. And then we also have another Ficus benjamina variegated form, but this one is the green on green form. Again, these are originally $19.98. I believe these are for $14.98 on sale. So as far as Proven Winner plants, if you're able to get them during a sale price, you are definitely going to be saving some money on plants. And then here is another Sea Stones Hoya by Proven Winners Littles. This one is also another Hoya Matilde for only $9.98. And I'm just going to continue to pick up some of these plants. Again, plant foldies, I really appreciate you tuning in and watching me go plant shopping, or more so window plant shopping. But for today, since I was able to find a plant for a budget-friendly, cost-effective price at a big box store, I am definitely gonna go buy that Ficus lyrata. And what I plan to do with it is I'm actually gonna just grow it outdoors again in my backyard to get a lot of light to it, and hopefully it will push out even more growth. In terms of my plants in general, they're doing very well. There were a couple of my Aglaonema that I received from overseas that kind of declined in health, but it took a couple of weeks for them to bounce back. So I see new growth points, and that's the thing about plants. My biggest advice or plant care tip is, if you have a plant that is struggling, take them outdoors, grow them in a shaded patio, and if they get morning light or east facing light, they are going to recover. I've even taken plants such as a Syngonium, for instance, cut it all the way back down to its last node, and it grew back. And I can even show you updates of some of those plants if you are interested. I may just put it more so in my YouTube membership tier for some of those plant updates. I am planning on doing a couple more member only videos throughout the week, and I'm just really excited. Again, if you have not pressed the subscribe button with all the notifications turned on, definitely do so, because I will be getting hours and hours of PlantCon 2025 New York City coverage. I'm hoping to get some even before the show starts, so we'll see what that looks like. But I'm just going to continue to pick up all of these plants. I like to take my time and just pick up plants and show you guys that. So hopefully you are liking what you're seeing so far. And then these are also the $10 monsteras that are on sale, as well as the Ficus lyrata on the bottom shelf. I'm going to look for a Ficus lyrata that has already branching, so we'll see which ones I will pick up later on in this video. But let's go ahead and spin around and take a look at some more plants. I think I'm going to end up getting that Ficus lyrata because it has 2 branches already, and it's going to have the potential to grow into a beautiful tree. And we're going to spin around here again and look at some more of these terrariums. It looks like somebody opened these terrariums to kind of look at and see what they look like inside. This one has a Syngonium milk confetti with a Fittonia in it. And you know, Syngoniums are another plant that you can grow in terrariums. They do like that humidity level as well. The only thing is, whenever you have a terrarium like this, you're going to have to cut back the plants because they're going to outgrow their space very quickly, especially for Syngoniums where they are very vigorous plants in terms of growth. And now you can see we have some beautiful hydroponic or plants that are just growing in straight water. These are the Proven Winners H2O bowls, and take a look at this. They are normally $19.98, the smaller ones, but now they're only for $4.88. And you already know, plant foldies, if I find an Aglaonema, we're going to get one of those. But look at this. I have never seen the Elkhorn Lake. That's what they're calling this series. Look at it. It is a globe. It is the planet Earth as a vessel to grow a plant hydroponically. Look at these beautiful roots. Look at that. And this is a prime example of why I do believe that Proven Winners is one of the places that gives you amazing plants for a cost-effective price, but also a very stylistic approach. And I am just in love. I love the fact that Proven Winners has this available, and it is a new way to actually showcase plants. And that's what we really want to see is innovation, ways that they are presenting these plants. And I love the fact that this is an Aglaonema. We've got another one. So I'm definitely going to buy an Aglaonema, because if it's normally $16.98, but it's only for $4.88, you already know, plant foldies, that I need it all. I need all of the beautiful Aglaonema. Again, let's hashtag popularize Aglaonema. I love that as well. This is the Leafjoy H2O bowl. This is a globe, so that's really clever. If anything, I want to say that we should popularize Aglaonema across the world. So that is going to be the symbol today for me, is I'm going to buy one of these Aglaonema. I'm going to thoroughly look and see which one it is. It could be a pink Valentine. I love pink plants. This is super clever, and you can see we've got another one that's just growing in straight water. Things that you need to look for, though, whenever you're buying a plant that is growing in straight water is the roots. If the roots are a bright white color, nothing mushy or brown, then you have healthy roots. So we're just going to continue to pick up some more of these plants. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, what you think, but this is an amazing plant find, an amazing value for the plant pricing by Proven Winners Leafjoy. Plant Foldies, here is another example of this beautiful Monstera deliciosa. Again, this is originally priced at $14.98 by Vigoro Plants, but it is now only $10. My question is, would you guys actually buy this plant for that sale price? Let me know in the comments section, and we're going to spin around here and continue to look at some of these Proven Winner H2O bowls. So you can see right here, we've got another beautiful Aglaonema Pink Valentine, or at least that's what I'm going to call it. Not 100% sure because some Aglaonemas definitely look very similar, but I did want to just go ahead and point out how beautiful these are. I cannot believe that I just found another Proven Winners Leafjoy H2O bowl. Look at how juicy and healthy these roots are, and it is on sale for $4.88. I'm definitely gonna buy it. I may end up buying this one right here because you can see that the leaves are healthy, the roots are also healthy, and it's an Aglaonema. That is the problem with me in terms of just like me trying to control my finances when it comes to plants. If it's an Aglaonema you just put in front of me, I definitely want to just buy it, and that's basically it. But it is a beautiful plant. It is a plant that I definitely want to get. I feel like it's a really good value. Feel free to leave in the comment section what you think. And again, Plant Foldies, if you have any Aglaonema and you post it on social media, definitely follow my campaign to hashtag popularize Aglaonema. Post your pictures of Aglaonema on your socials and definitely use that hashtag. So we're just going to continue to pick up some more of these plants. You can see that in terms of Proven Winners Leafjoy plants, that's the thing I really look at, is the fact that they're consistently pushing the envelope in terms of plant styling, the innovation in terms of terrariums, even growing plants hydroponically. And I think for the longevity or sustainability of a nursery, you've always got to evolve. You've always got to bring something new to the table because let's face it, a lot of times plants are more so readily accessible for whether it's a big box store, nursery, or even local plant nurseries or plant shops. There has to be something a little bit more unique to attract buyers, whether it's a specific type of plant that people don't necessarily offer, whether it is the plant aesthetic in terms of planters, but there has to be more than just offering plants that you can typically find at many competitors selling plants. So for me, hands down, for Proven Winners Leafjoy, for just having these cool hydroponic stations where you're growing a plant in full water. The thing about it is, if you're growing a plant in full water, you do have to be mindful of the fact that these plants are going to need some plant nutrients. That's another thing that I will go delve into more so in a future video. But I am also trying to decide whether I should get this Aglaonema. So let me know in the comment section, Plant Foldies, which one you would pick, the first one or the second one. I would love to get as many comments, just getting your engagement and letting me know which ones you are looking at. And you know, for today's video, as I just continue to show you these plants, hopefully you like all of the Proven Winner plants. That's something that I don't always get to film because I do a lot of Costa Farms plants, and I love Costa Farms. You know, there are many plants that I've acquired from Costa Farms whenever I go big box store plant shopping, for instance, at Lowe's. But I also love Proven Winner plants, and that just goes to show that if you are open-minded, if you are willing to diversify where you buy your plants, whether it is at a big box store or a local nursery, or even more so overseas. And I was gonna say, for anybody that's interested in getting plants from overseas, definitely follow artgarden.flowers on Instagram. That is my friend Riki's nursery in Indonesia. He is able to send plants directly to your doorstep, and you don't necessarily need an import license because all of the plants go through a rigorous process and go through a broker that actually imports the plants and then is shipped directly to your home. So that's something that if you have questions on, definitely feel free to send a direct message to me on Instagram, or if you have questions, you can also leave it in the comment section. But let's continue to just show you some more of these plants. This is one of those Fittonia varieties. They've got several of them actually, and then there's even more so plants right over here. This one is another type of Hoya. And this is a better view of some of the beautiful terrariums that we have. I really love the look of this one. Look at this terrarium. Really love the pricing as well. I mean, it is $79.98, but you are getting a full-blown terrarium with some high-quality plants from Proven Winners. And then over here, we do have the $10 Monstera or 2 for $20 8-inch tropical plants. I love it. What an amazing sale. It's one of the best sales I've seen so far, especially for plants that are readily available at big box stores, but not necessarily at that price. So that is fabulous. I hope that they continue this sale, because I may come back and get me a Monstera Deliciosa. I might just do that, but again, it is all about trying to curate your plant collection. The majority of my collection these days are Aglaonema. They're mostly growing outdoors, but there's always room for a specific plant if it speaks to you. And I think that's the reason why we end up acquiring plants to begin with, is because we don't intend to buy the plant, but that plant is basically telling you to take them home and add them to your space. And that's happened quite a bit of times for me. And that's the reason why sometimes we get inundated with so many house plants. So I'm just going to continue to walk over here and show you what other plants they have. These are the large foliage plants, and quintessential Vigoro plants. I love that Home Depot is a really good source to buy large foliage plants like this Aglaonema Golden Bay. You already know I love me an Aglaonema Golden Bay. And if you're ever curious to see, this is the first time I've ever seen it, that red seed is the actual seed of an Aglaonema, so it looks like it's mature enough to where you can possibly put that seed to see if it will germinate. But that is what an Aglaonema seed looks like. Never seen it actually at a big box store, and actually I haven't been able to get any of my Aglaonema to cross-pollinate and get seeds out of, but that's what it looks like. And then I'm just going to pan around here again and just walk around and show you the beautiful plants. I mean, look at this beautiful Calathea, and then we are looking at all of these gorgeous Aglaonema. These are specifically Aglaonema's Golden Bay for $29.98. We've got some ZZ plants and Alocasia right over here. Got some tables of easy care plants. This one is a Marble Queen Pothos. If you are looking for an easy care plant, get yourself a Marble Queen Pothos. Get yourself Pothos plants in general because they are easy to take care of. This one is for $14.98 in a 6-inch planter. And in terms of Pothos, I've actually gone back to my Pothos era where I'm literally growing all of my hanging baskets outdoors. And whenever you take a hose, it's so much easier to water your plants when you can just hose them down. And I think that that's really the indoor tropical tropical plant hack is just take all of your plants outdoors. Water them with a hose, and then you can take them back inside. The only thing is, if you do water them outdoors, there is a potential to invite potential plant pests back inside. But if you're looking for a quick fix for all of the plants you have, you can get a wagon, wheel them outdoors, hose them, let them dry out a little bit, and then bring them back inside. That's one way to do it. I am currently just growing all of my plants outdoors until it starts to get cooler weather. Now in North Dallas, it's still quite hot. We are supposed to be getting cooler weather this week, so we'll see. But plant foldies, I hope you guys are enjoying this longer format big box or plant shopping video. You can see that I'm just picking up more plants. The ones that are in the 3.5-inch planters by Vigoro Plants are going to be for $7.98. You can see we've got a Sansevieria over here. We've got Pothos plants. We've got Hoyas. We've got these easy care plants. Foldies, you can see right over here, we do have the proven winner plants, lots of them, and these are all on sale. So these were actually $19.98, but these are actually $9.98. So I thought they were on sale for $14. They're actually proven winner plants, house plants, for 50% off. So you definitely need to go to this Home Depot, especially if you are a local plant foldie. You definitely need to come up to Custer Road in McKinney, Texas. Go to this Home Depot and shop away, you know, cash in on all of these plants that are 50% off. That is a really good deal. And I have to say, Proven Winners has high quality indoor tropical plants. Like, I am super tempted to buy this philodendron black cardinal. I love the dark foliage leaves. Now with anything that's dark foliage, same thing with neon colors, you want to make sure that you are actually giving them bright indirect light for them to maintain that beautiful dark foliage. Otherwise, it is going to be a situation where they may not have that beautiful foliage. So I just want to put that out there, and then we're just going to continue to look at some of these plants. This one is a philodendron jungle boogie. I love it as well. Look at those serrated leaves. And then we got a Ficus altissima, and we have some more terrariums right over here. I already have this Aglaonema growing in hydroponic bowl, but I love the fact that this one is available. If you are able to acquire that one, that is beautiful as well, plant foldies. And we just have more terrariums. You can see that this terrarium has actually outgrown. The syngoniums are crawling out. So with terrariums, you do have to trim back some of the plants in order for it to maintain its space. But overall, like I said again, you know, as I continue to walk around here and eventually wrap up this video, I did want to show you the quintessential hanging basket fixture by Vigoro Plants. These are all for $19.98. And this particular Home Depot has some really good Pothos hanging baskets. So we have the golden Pothos. Some of them are a little bit more variegated than others. We have a neon Pothos right over here. Love it. Or actually, it looks like a golden Pothos. Either way, it is a beautiful plant. I am propagating so many Pothos plants. One thing I am noticing is, and I'm learning this from another international vendor, is whenever you're propagating, it's easier to just propagate the top cutting versus taking several nodes. But for Pothos plants, it doesn't really matter. You can take a whole vine and take several nodes. You can see this is a pretty nice looking spider plant. Sometimes spider plants will have brown tips and it's not always the best hanging basket, but this one looks really good. And again, it is pet friendly. So if you want pet friendly plant, you definitely need that. And then you can see right here, we've got some more golden Pothos. So as I am about to wrap up this video, you know, to sum up things, it is just amazing to continue to make big box or plant shopping videos. I know that there are a lot of content creators, especially ones that used to make a lot of plant content in the past, that are also on the big box or plant shopping videos. And I don't really blame anybody for really getting excited because you find very cost-effective plant pricing. Does that mean that if somebody makes big box or plant shopping videos that we are not supporting local small businesses? Absolutely not. I love my local and small businesses, but for the majority of plant foldies that watch the channel, I already know that not everybody lives in a metropolitan area like Dallas, where we have the options of shopping small businesses and local plant shops. So at the end of the day, find the plants that you want to buy. And I would definitely recommend going to this Home Depot because, I mean, look at this. I'm going back to grab my Aglaonema that I will take home and add to my hydroponic collection of Aglaonemas. Kudos to Proven Winners Leafjoy again for always having amazing plants. It has been a fun time to just swing around here, look at all of these gorgeous plants, and know that I'm going to be getting something on sale for $10. Join my YouTube membership tier if you haven't already. It definitely helps with the sustainability of my channel. Just press the join button, as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Richie at Growfold with all the notification bell on, and click on the videos that are showing up on the screen right now so you can continue to watch some of my other plant content. I'll see you on the next one. Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Growfolds, and today we will be big box store plant shopping at the Lowe's out in Conroe, Texas. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And also give me a follow on my Instagram. It is at Growfolds. If you have any questions about the plant or anything of that nature from all of my big box store plant shopping videos, just connect with me via Instagram. It is a beautiful cloudy morning out in Conroe, Texas. I'm actually further down south away from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which is where I typically do big box store plant shopping videos. But I was coming around to go visit my grandmother. And for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome to the channel. My name is Richie and I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. So today it's a little bit of a different content just because I am going in an area that I typically am not filming at, and that is in the Houston area. So you can see right here, this is actually one of the Lowe's I like to visit whenever I am further down south away from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, because this particular place actually has quite a bit of plants. And what's interesting is Houston area has higher humidity levels than, say, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So they are able to grow some of these other plants that may not grow as well, say, out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But you can already tell that fall is just around the corner, because whenever you see big box stores carrying a bunch of Croton petras or Croton plants in general, it signifies that fall season is among us. And then you can see right here, we already have a lot of Halloween stuff ready to go at these big box stores, and it is only mid-August, and you can see that there's already a lot of Halloween stuff coming around. But I am very excited to see what kind of plants that they have available. I am going to be specifically looking for some Costa Farms bonsai plants, because I recently got some bonsai supplies from the Bonsai Supply. So check out that website, thebonsai-supply.com. I have an affiliate link right there. And before we get into that, I'm going to go into more detail. Plant foldies, I am super excited to finally show you my unboxing of the bonsai supplies that I received a generous amount from the Bonsai Supply store. This is a company that is based out in Houston, Texas. I have been using the Bonsai Supply soil for many years now. I used to buy it off of Amazon, but you can actually buy this directly from the bonsaisupply.com. And you can see right here, this is their all-purpose fast draining soil that you can utilize for your bonsai. And for those that don't know, the bonsai is the art of growing beautiful miniature trees, and it is one that takes so much dedication. It is definitely creating living works of art. And in order to make living works of art, you really have to have premium soil and supplies. And I am just super excited that the Bonsai Supply company sent me this package of all of the supplies that I have used for many years. So you can see right here, I am struggling to unbox this. This is the organic slow release all-purpose fertilizer that is also made and sourced out in the United States. So all of their supplies in terms of just the soils and their fertilizers are sourced out and created in the United States. You can see right here, it is a gentle organic fertilizer, and it is all-purpose, so you can utilize it for a lot of your plants. Here's the thing about the Bonsai Supply soil. It is definitely a complete soil. It is one that you can utilize as well for your succulents and cactus. So if you don't necessarily grow bonsai, you can actually utilize their soils because it is fast draining. So it's really good for even your succulents, your cactus, and your sansevieria, any type of plant that just needs fast draining soil. You can see that the Bonsai Supply has also sent me different types of wire gauges, as well as their other fertilizer right over here. You can see that this one is the non-organic fertilizer. So you have different choices, and all of these products you can find on the bonsaisupply.com or bonsaisupply.com. I do have an affiliate link for that. That is going to be in all of my descriptions for my YouTube videos. And I'm just really excited to be able to finally show you all of the amazing products that I received from Bonsai Supply. You can see right over here, this one is the black lava rock. So you can utilize these types of soils to amend your soil. So say you need to make your all-purpose soil a little bit more fast draining, you can utilize a lot of these soil amendments for it. So you can see that I've got 3 different types of soils. I am going to be using the all-purpose mixture that they already have on the very left, and I am so thankful that they even sent me other supplies such as this potting mat. And just know, plant foldies, that I will utilize in another video a demonstration of using all of their supplies. So I just wanted to show you guys what types of supplies I got from Bonsai Supply. Super excited that I met the owners when I was actually at PlantCon Houston 2025, and I'm just so thankful and honored that they chose me to be one of their affiliates to actually promote and share their products. I mean, you can see right here, we've got some stainless steel scissors. And what I like about the Bonsai supplies that I've received in the past couple of years, aside from just getting this really generous package, is the fact that these soils do work. You can utilize it for a lot of your plants. You don't really have to worry about root rot. It is just fast draining, and I love the fact that all of the ingredients that they use is sourced from the United States. This is made in the USA, and we definitely want to support American products. This is an American company, and I just love the fact that the owners and the company really trusted me to show you all of these soils. So if you are interested in utilizing Bonsai Supply soils, please utilize my promo code for 10% off any of the supplies on your orders. Just use the promo code GROWFOLD. It's just one word when you check out, and you will receive 10% off your entire order for these supplies. These are high quality supplies. This is some of the best bonsai supplies you can utilize. And this is just great products to use for a lot of your plants in general. So I urge everybody to follow the Bonsai Supply on Instagram. Definitely shop thebonsai-supply.com, and there you have it, plant foldies. I want to make sure that you guys check out that affiliate link in the video description for this YouTube video. But as you can see right here, this is quintessential Houston area big box stores. You can see that they have quite a bit of plants right over here, and this particular Lowe's. And you know, when I've mentioned this before, but I love Lowe's locations that have that greenhouse look, where they actually have a separate section for the indoor tropical plants that have all of these high ceilings and wide windows where these plants will get a lot of bright indirect light. So we're just going to walk around here and see what plants they have available. What I've noticed about these greenhouse type Lowe's is that they have large foliage plants, and these are all by Costa Farms. So you can see right here, we've got some Dracaena Massangiana. We've got some different types of hanging baskets, and you can see right here, I actually have that same watering wand, and they have that available. So you already know that this Lowe's location definitely stays on top of watering their plants. Again, we are going to be looking at some of these large foliage plants. Plant foldies, you can see right here, beautiful Ficus lyrata, or the fiddle fig leaf tree, beautiful plant. That is another one that needs a lot of bright light. And then we also have these large Calathea macoyanas for $24.98. And this is also known as the peacock Calathea. I've had this in the past. It is a stunning plant. I mean, you can look at the leaves, they look like feathers, they look like peacock feathers. However, these Calathea, again, are very challenging plants to keep alive indoors long term. You have to stay on top of the watering conditions. You need to make sure that you're giving bright indirect light, as well as staying on top of the higher humidity levels, because this particular Calathea, or Calatheas in general, are a little bit more spider mite prone. So in terms of the plant care tips today, I do want to just give some basic ones. For instance, the ZZ plants that we have here. As I've mentioned in a lot of my big box or plant shopping videos, if you're looking for a plant that is going to be easy care and low maintenance, the ZZ plant is the one that you would go for. $39 and $35.98. That is not a bad price at all, considering, you know, ZZ plants are a little bit slower growing plants. So if you're looking for that instant gratification, you can find these larger size big box store plants, and these are again sourced out from Costa Farms. And you know what's exciting about Costa Farms is I will be going to PlantCon New York City next week. August 29th and 30th is when I'm going to be there. I will be getting into New York City on that Friday, and then also be at PlantCon all through Saturday, and then fly out that Sunday. Really excited to meet any of the plant foldies that are going to be going to New York City. If you have Instagram, if you have a YouTube where you can actually leave a comment, please let me know if you want to meet up. I will be wearing a Grow Folds t-shirt, and I will be helping out with hedge funds plants. Thank you so much to my friend Erin again for making me one of your helpers. But anyways, plant foldies, if you're looking at this right here, Tiger Bark Ficus Bonsai. So we just talked about going to the bonsaisupply.com. I actually went with the intention of going to a big box store that would have these types of bonsai. So I would consider the Costa Farms bonsai as more like pre-bonsai. And what that means is it's definitely got some potential in terms of the shape, but as I pilfer through all of these Tiger Ficus bonsai, I'm going to be looking at a couple of things. I'm going to be looking at the movement of the trunk, the structure of the branches, and the potential of wiring and shaping the plant. So I want to see one that has a thicker trunk, and for $29.98, that is not a bad price at all for a pre-bonsai. When you think about bonsai, which is the art of miniature trees being grown in a shallow container, it takes several years, more than decades, to really get an established one. What I like about the Tiger Ficus bonsai is it is more of a tropical indoor plant. So this one can be potentially grown indoors. It would need a lot of light though, because it is a ficus. But I am definitely going to pick one of these bonsai again. So plant foldies that are watching and engage, please leave in the comment section which one you would specifically buy. I am thinking that I may end up getting that one because it's got some nice shape, but it looks like we've got a winner here. I can instantly tell you that this is the one I want to get because you can see the curvature of the trunk, and it's got a lot of major branches already that I can work with. So for those that did see my my promo code growfolds.thebonsai.com, please use my affiliate link if you want to buy some of those supplies and get 10% off. But I am going to have a separate video where I will show you how to repot and actually make a big box store bonsai into an actual bonsai plant. I will be buying this for sure today. That is guaranteed. And I hope you guys will also get into bonsai. I know that a lot of our plant foldies are more into the aeroids or indoor tropical plants, but as I mentioned in all of my videos, I love having the diversity of just being able to grow many different styles and types of plants, whether it's outdoor gardening, vegetables and herb gardening, indoor tropical plants, and definitely the art of bonsai. The bonsai craze that I had when I was actually a child really started when I watched The Karate Kid. I remember either being in 3rd or 4th grade, and I remember buying my first bonsai of all places at Target, and it was a juniper bonsai, and I ended up actually getting a really good cascading style. But you can see right here, plant foldies, I will definitely buy this bonsai so I can repot it in a nice bonsai plant pot, and then also I will utilize the bonsai supply soil and then the wiring and fertilizers that they were providing for me. So I'm going to continue to walk around here and just show you all of the other plants. Again, plant foldies, if you have made it into this part of the video and you have not pressed the thumbs up or like button for this video, I definitely want you guys to take the time to do that. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And just something that I learned literally as I was editing this video and watching YouTube videos, there is what you call the hype feature for a YouTube video. So if you just go to the comment section and swipe to your left, there should be an option where you can hype up a video. If you find my videos to be interesting, I ask all plant foldies to help support that engagement and hype up the video. That would be super amazing, and I would be super happy if you could do that for me. Now, I'm just going to continue to show you these dendrobium orchids. So the thing about dendrobium orchids is they do require lots of bright light. They're similar to phalaenopsis orchids, and as far as orchids, it's so interesting that Lowe's can actually have orchids readily available year-round, no matter what season of the year. We're still in the late summer, early fall season, and in terms of just phalaenopsis orchids or orchids in general, you can go to a Lowe's, a big box store, and even a grocery store and find orchids For me, I love the look of orchids, but unfortunately, I'm not able to really grow them long term. They tend to like higher humidity levels. They do need light. And once they come out of bloom, it does take a while for orchids to rebloom. So I don't necessarily have the patience to wait for a orchid to bloom. So instead of like actually taking an orchid home and buying it, I just kind of admire their beautiful blooms whenever I am at Lowe. So we're going to continue to walk around and look at some more plants. Again, plant foldies. Let me know in the comment section what you think and which plants you would buy today, what you think about my bonsai feature, and if you're excited to see a separate video for that. Exciting whenever I go to big box stores that are out of town. So, you know, for those that don't know, I am actually based out in North Dallas. And so the majority of my big box store plant shopping videos are typically because I go around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But now that I see that this is Conroe, which is basically North Houston, I'm able to just you know, explore and see what type of houseplants that they have available in different areas of the state and even in the country. So when I do some traveling, especially when I am going to PlantCon New York City and Houston, or actually not Houston, but actually in New York City, really interested to see if I might be able to go to some of these other big box stores. And you can even see right here, they've got some plumerias, and I do like plumerias. I am really thankful that one of my friends who lives out in Florida was able to send me some plumeria cuttings. They're actually fairly easy to propagate. You know, you'll cut the just the stem, let it dry out for about a week, and then you just stick them directly into soil and just make sure that you just water it, but then let the soil dry. And eventually, by keeping it in an area that just kind of gets morning light, bright indirect light, it will eventually root and propagate. And you can see over here, plant foldies, we also have these dishes of plants, different types of exotic angel Costa Farms house plants. So they've got a lot of combination plants that we have available. And it's interesting that Costa Farms has really delved into combination planters. For those that are more of the purists, they tend to maybe not be as big of a fan of these combination planters. Oftentimes they're given as gifts. For me, if I'm going to get a combination planter like this, so we've got a Syngonium, we've also got a Pothos plant, we need to have more of the same type of care tips or care requirements for plants. So you don't want to put plants that are needing either more bright light versus like indoor tropical plants that are a little bit low light tolerant and drought tolerant. So for me, as long as the combination planter has similar plant care requirements, and I think it works out. Now over here, we are looking at some more of these large foliage plants. I love this philodendron black cardinal. It could be a black cardinal or red imperial. I'm not 100% sure, but this is another large foliage plant from Costa Farms. So you already know Costa Farms has so many varieties of plants. I am so thankful that Costa Farms has made it readily available for the general public in terms of the types of tropical plants that are available at big box stores. Like this philodendron, we're going to call it black cardinal. For those that know exactly what the plant ID is, please please chime in into the comment section, because I am definitely not an expert, but I want to make sure that, you know, there is a plant ID for some of these plants that I'm featuring. And then I'm just going to walk around here and show you all of the large foliage plants. What you will notice whenever there is a Lowe's that has a greenhouse type setting where it's a separate room aside from the main indoor with the bright windows and the tall ceilings, you'll see that they have these large foliage plants. And then obviously we have some more of these hanging baskets. Now these are the 6-inch hanging baskets for $16.98. This one is a syngonium of some sort, and I'm just going to keep picking up some plants and showing you what they have available at the Conroe, Texas Lowe's location right off of I-45. The dogtail cactus is more of a tropical type succulent cactus. This one is another hanging basket for $16.98 by Costa Farms Exotic Angel line. This one is in a 6-inch planter again, and this is one that I see often. Now this one is definitely not a plant that you want to put in full sun. It does need bright indirect light. That's one thing that I've learned about succulents and cactus is the assumption, or at least my assumption of thinking that every succulent and cactus needs to be in full sun and needs hotter conditions, when in actuality there are a lot of succulents that do not do well in very hot dry climates. I just think that oftentimes we, at least for me, think that succulents and cactus are synonymous to like a desert setting, but there are different types of succulents and cactus. That one is one that I often see. And we have over here a Dracaena sandriana, or what they call the lucky bamboo, even though this is not part of the bamboo family. So this is really known in most Asian cultures as a prosperity plant, a plant that is often given as gifts for to bring somebody good luck, good fortune. It is a plant that, at least for all of the Dracaenas, the Dracaena sandriana is going to be a plant that is going to need a little bit more watering and consistent moisture. This is not a plant that is drought tolerant, or at least in my experience. So it is one of the more challenging plants. That is another prime example of a plant that might be in the same genus of a family, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the plant care tips are always going to be the same. Most Dracaena plants are more like low light tolerant and drought tolerant, but this particular one is not. Now over here we talk about anthuriums. A lot of people love anthuriums. Anthuriums are the trending plant of 2025. Many people want the velvety textured hybrids, the Anthurium clavinariums, the Anthurium Dock Block series, so many anthuriums, but this is just a regular blooming anthurium, one that is commonly found. It is a common house plant. It is one that is often overlooked, but you know what? For $13.95, I wouldn't mind adding this to my plant collection. The cool thing about this particular anthurium is it has the red blooms, but as it matures, it will get larger and larger leaves. Now, it's not going to have the velvety textured leaves like the other anthuriums that most people are really looking for, but it still has its own beauty. And that's the thing about plants, plant foldies. It is all about the beauty of the plant, on whether we can actually appreciate it. Everybody has different types of plant aesthetics. For me, I like really bright colored plants that have larger leaves, hence the reason why I just love Aglaonema. Now, when you talk about easy care plants, this one is for $14.98. This one is a Live Trends design plant, and as we've seen in so many of my videos, Live Trends Design has some amazing features in terms of the modern contemporary look, that aesthetic. I would say Live Trends Design really pushes the envelope on some of the beautiful planters and arrangements that they have. I mean, you can take a look at this one. This one is a ZZ Zenzi plant. This one is a perfect plant for this small planter because it does have a more compact growth. It is low light tolerant. It is drought tolerant. It is one of the easiest plants, especially if you're looking for a low maintenance, affordable, cost-effective house plant to add in your plant collection. To all the adjectives that you can think of that makes this plant easy, it's got it. So love the ZZ Zenzi plant. And in terms of Live Trends Design plants, I would say Live Trends Designs as well as proven Winners Leafjoy. That's another one that you would see mostly at Home Depot. They really do lead the term in terms of like plant style plants, like stylistic ways to present plants. Like look at this Sansevieria right over here. Again, the plant pricing is a little bit higher for a conventional Sansevieria, but you're also paying for the beautiful quality, the high quality of the planters presented. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep picking up some more of these plants. Feel free again to chime into the comment section about these plants. I actually love Sansevieria as well because they are so low maintenance house plants. I love my Syngoniums. I really do. Syngoniums were my first love when it comes to houseplants. I used to just want to collect all of them. I am slowly falling back in love with Syngoniums. I think when it comes to your first love, you never forget your first love. Maybe you do, but Syngoniums do have a special place in my heart because it is one of the first houseplants I've ever grown. I remember growing one as a kid in elementary school. We ended up giving it to a neighbor and they ended up just growing that Syngonium in a bathroom with no windows, and it was thriving. So, you know, memories when it comes to house plants. And I think when it comes to a lot of the big box or plant shopping videos I create or this content, it just really reminds me that a lot of times people get into house plants either through a family member, specifically their grandmother, for instance, and we have a lot of fond memories. I do ask the plant foldies as I pick up these beautiful iridescent acorns with air plants to leave in the comment section what are your fondest memories when it comes to growing plants, is whether you were a kid, a teenager, a young adult, or just any fond memories. What a nice Dieffenbachia that's growing in straight hydroponic substrate, basically water. This one is from the Laguna series, and a little bit of a factoid. Laguna is one of the provinces my dad's family is from, Laguna, Philippines. And, you know, for those that don't know, again, I am a proud Filipino American. Oftentimes, again, when I pick up this Dieffenbachia, I just look at these Dieffenbachia that grow in a southeast country such as the Philippines, where they're growing in full sun outdoors and living their best life. But then over here on the western part of the world, we see lots of these different types of plants. I don't own a single lipstick plant, but I've always found the Twister lipstick plant a pretty cool looking plant. This one is in an 8-inch hanging basket planter by Costa Farms. This one is for $20.98. This one looks like it just recently made it into this big box store. And that's another thing I would tell anybody that is going to go big box store plant shopping or house plant shopping is, if you happen to go to a big box store and they've just recently unpacked these plants, for instance, they just came from Costa Farms, Live Trends Design plants, Urban Jungle plants, Proven Winner Leafjoy plants, they are the most healthy as soon as they're unpacked into a big box store because they just recently left the nursery. I mean, you can see right here, those two look like they just left Costa Farms. And this is a really cool looking plant. This is a Monstera celtipicana, or also known as a silver monstera. This one is in a 18-inch, no, I'm sorry, 8-inch planter for only $20.98. I'm just making mistakes with all of the plant pricing and also the plant sizes for the pots, but this one almost looks like an Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue Pothos, but this is definitely a Monstera. I used to have this, but I neglected it by not watering it frequently, and that's the thing about these hanging basket plants, especially if you do not stay on top of the watering. You want to make sure that you at least stay on top of the watering. Otherwise, the top leaves tend to go first. Now, this one right here is a Syndapsis. I love it. It has that silver metallic foliage. This one is in a 6-inch hanging basket for $16.98. So you can already tell with this big box store, the Lowe's out in Conroe, Texas, it makes you excited to go big box store plant shopping because they have quite a bit of plants. I don't know if it's because the Houston area has higher humidity levels or what it looks like in terms of just the environment, but I would even go to say that a lot of these plants are really thriving. And here is another plant right here, another Monstera celtipicana, and this is another plant that if I wasn't going to buy that Ficus, Tiger Ficus bonsai to make it into a legitimate bonsai, I would definitely buy this. I'm really trying to manage my finances in terms of buying every single plant that I find. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like, especially for us plant lovers, we can find beauty in any plant if we go big box or plant shopping or local nursery plant shopping. And I just feel like we can find reasons on why we need to buy plants, but I do challenge everybody to look at reasons why you don't necessarily have to buy that plant today. Now, this one right here is a Philodendron Heteroraceum, just a green form, $16.98. You can see that it is super full, it is thriving, it has so much new growth, and I'm gonna go ahead and take a gander at this one. So we have the green form, but let me go ahead and struggle and get this one down. This is a Philodendron Heteroraceum Neon. So this is the neon variety. $16.98. What a beautiful plant. And again, to maintain that neon yellowish color, that neon green color, you do need to provide it with lots of bright indirect light. I don't know, plant foldies, which one would you choose? Would you buy the neon Philodendron Heteroraceum, or would you buy just the classic green Philodendron Heteroraceum? Let me know in the comments section below. I would honestly buy both, and I was actually very tempted to buy both hanging baskets because I haven't really seen ones like this that were super healthy, lush, super full. And then you also have to think these are beginner friendly houseplants, easy care houseplants, and very cost effective houseplants. I mean, at the end of the day, for $16.98 for each one, that is not a bad price at all. And I have to commend Costa Farms again for providing many plants for a cost effective plant price. And then over here, we're looking at some more Tiger Ficus bonsai. This one has an interesting, but not as dramatic of a trunk. It's a little bit more just vertical. I like the ones with a little bit twisting and curving. You can see that there are some aerial roots that are hanging down. Like this one is quite interesting. It's got a nice shape to it. It's a little bit awkward though. There is just an abrupt branch. It's actually an abrupt branch, and it seems a little bit off balance. So that's the reason why that one particular bonsai I picked is the one I'm going to take home, because there's a really nice balance and movement with the bonsai tree. That's something I want to talk more about in detail as I make some bonsai content. And again, if you haven't already, plant foldies, please go to thebonsaisupply.com. There is an affiliate link right in the video description. Click that, and then also use my promo code GROWFOLDS for 10% off all bonsai supplies on the bonsaisupply.com website. And you can see even here we have little miniature bonsais, or what I would say pre-bonsais by Costa Farms. This one is for $12.98. This one is a Crusala, and this one would make a perfect broom style type of bonsai. So it's gonna just have like just like a broom looking style of a shape. This one would definitely need some work in terms of like pruning it down, and also looking to ramify the branches as well as getting the trunk to get a little bit thicker. But if you were to pot this up, in a shallow bonsai container and get that process going, I think it has a lot of potential. Now this juniper bonsai right here has some potential, but I would say juniper bonsai is a little bit more challenging. And just to let you know, bonsai are really not meant to grow indoors unless it's like a tiger ficus bonsai, which is more of a tropical indoor plant that just needs bright indirect light. A lot of bonsai need to be grown outside. So just FYI. Hoya Comingiana, I always have to pick up that one by Live Trends Design. That is for $24.98. And we're just going to continue to pick up some more plants. You can see this is another Costa Farms trending tropical plant. This is an Epipremnum pinnatum albo. This one is for $20.98. I like Epipremnum pinnatum albo. Even for a variegated plant, it is a pretty vigorous grower. You can grow it as a trailing plant, but to really see the larger leaves, the fenestrations, you want to try to grow this up a totem pole or moss pole. Let's talk about Vanda orchids. Absolutely love Vanda orchids. You can see that this one is a specific cultivar. I would say Lowe's is really the only big box store I've ever seen carry Vanda orchids. And this is one that has a really nice color. Look at how large the blooms are. So Vanda orchids actually require quite a bit of bright indirect light. You don't have to put this in any type of orchid bark substrate. It literally will just hang, and the roots will just absorb moisture, and that's how it gets water. Obviously, if you're gonna water this, you wanna just submerge the roots in water, and you'll know that it doesn't need to be watered or it's been watered thoroughly when the roots have like a greenish color to it. When it really does need water is when the roots are more of like a grayish tone. Now over here, we're looking at some large foliage plants. Again, these are by Costa Farms. We've got some Sansevieria. We've got a massive Aglaonema, Silver Bay, one of my favorites. And we're just gonna walk around here and see what other discoveries we can find at this Lowe's location. May not necessarily be my particular aesthetic or niche, but I find this really interesting. $14.98. We've got some heads here, and I honestly think that the air plants on top of it give it a nice touch. It's a very quirky, very clever way of displaying your plants. And you know, again, it is by Live Trends Design. I don't have any air plants in my plant collection, but I've been really open to finding more of these quirky type planters. I mentioned in some of my videos that I prefer more minimalistic planters, ones that are just a solid color, more of a matte finish, more of a simple surface where it doesn't have any textures. But again, with this one right here, $14.98 for this air plant, and what a cool looking face statue. I like that a lot. Pineapple bromeliads, that is super cool. And did you guys know that pineapples are part of the bromeliad family? So what an interesting plant it is. It does have a miniature pineapple right over here. And so with pineapple bromeliads, what an interesting plant to take home. It's definitely a quirky one. And then we also have the classic Aglaonema Silver Bay. If you are a plant foldie, somebody that calls themselves a follower of this YouTube channel, you already know that we need to hashtag popularize Aglaonema. Let's buy up all the Aglaonemas at any big box stores, local nurseries, plant shows like PlantCon 2025 New York City. I really do believe that more people need to get into Aglaonemas because of the easy care that they have. And who doesn't want to be part of the movement of trying to popularize Aglaonema? Like this one right here, Aglaonema spathonema. This one is an interesting one because it seems like it's more related to the Aglaonema pictum. You can see that the leaves are a little bit more narrow shape, and I do like the green on green variegation on this one. This one is a trending tropicals plant, Costa Farms, for $20.98 in a self-watering planter. I love Dracaenas, and even in this hydroponic situation right here, I really love the wood finish that it has on this propagation station. And you can see now, I haven't really seen succulents being used as kokedama. This is kokodama, so they're using coconut husk. And you can see right here, this is an echeveria. Look at that beautiful ghostly gray tone on this particular succulent. I really love the roseate look on it. And then we also have different forms of succulents in cactus. What an interesting way to display these types of plants. Oftentimes you will see, or at least I would recommend planting succulents in cactus in a terracotta planter. That's the thing about going big box or plant shopping, $15.98, and you get these beautiful arrangements of succulents and cactus. We'll go ahead and pick up some more of these plants at this end cap right here. So we have another ZZ Zenzi plant by Live Trends Design. This one right here is not a bad price at all. I do love the matte finish and the color of that particular plant. And then we have another Haworthia right over here. This is another Live Trends Design planter. Notice that there is mixed media when it comes to the ceramics plus the twine that's used to give it a little bit more flair and texture. And then Live Trends Design, again, $14.98. We've got a beautiful philodendron. This one right here has those nice red veins, and I do like the look of this particular planter. Even if it does have that texture, there's just something very modern looking on it. And then what another beautiful philodendron leaf that it has. Philodendrons, these types of philodendrons are more of the clumping type, to where you don't necessarily need a moss pole or some type of totem pole to actually hold it together. You just have one that will just grow larger leaves. And we'll go ahead and pick up some more plants. So I don't necessarily know what this plant is by Urban Jungles, $14.98. If somebody can leave in the comments section what this particular plant ID it is. I have never seen this plant at all. And so very, very curious to see if anybody has the plant ID. It does have some type of caudex or a really thick trunk here, so I would really love to know what it is. It almost reminds me of some type of succulent, but again, a plant ID in the comment section would be amazing. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and keep picking up some plants. So this one right here is another Live Trends Design planter, self-watering planter. It's got more of a stoneware finish, philodendron moonlight, and it is another stunner as well. Absolutely beautiful looking plant. one's got a nice shape to its, look. This one is another Sansevieria bird's nest. I really like the look of this one. This is another Live Trends design plant for only $14.98. One of the easy care plants, one that I would recommend. It is a great air purifier plant as well. And this one right here is another Live Trends design plant. I am loving the Haworthias, and you can see right over here, it's got a really nice texture to the planter. So if you're looking for something modern, you can definitely find it with Live Trends Design. If you're looking for something with even texture and style, Live Trends Design planters are amazing, and they are one of the leading styles of plant aesthetics. Now over here, I have a very loyal super plant foldie by the name of Kathy. She is in Canada. She did ask for me to show you some more of these different types of air plants. These are real air plants that are sold by Live Trends Design, and these are the ones that don't have any type of planter. I do find it interesting that they have rows and rows of air plants. So kudos to Live Trends Design. And so as far as like plant care tips for air plants, I do think that you just need to leave them alone. Give them some bright indirect light, and in order to water them, you just need to go fill up like some type of saucer, submerge it, pull it out, let it dry off, and you are good to go. And then again, I'm going to go ahead and pick up some more of these succulents and cactus in a kokedama style setting. What a prickly little cactus it is. And then we have some more over here. Notice that the selection of plants at this particular location, we've got different types of philodendrons, succulents, cactus, different types of plants from urban jungle plants, Live Trends Design, and definitely Costa Farms. And so I'm just going to go ahead and continue to pick up some plants right over here. This is the other side, and you'll see, look at all of these plants. Like, how do you stop yourself from buying plants? I mean, this has a beautiful planter. This one has more of a wood finish to this planter, and this one is another philodendron Birkin. This one isn't nearly as variegated, but needless to say, still a beautiful plant. And I'm telling you, I am just gonna have such a tough time spending money or not spending money because they have so many plants to pick from. And I already see that there are some Aglaonemas. We're gonna get to that in just a second. That makes me super excited. And you'll see right here, I found one. This one is an Aglaonema Pink Valentine. This one is another Costa Farms trending tropical plant, part of the Costa Farms Colorful Aglaonema series. $20.98 in a self-watering planter. Look at the colors. Like, where do you find pink plants? You find them in the Aglaonema species. And so if you are into pink plants, something that is easy to care for, something that is underrated, and if you are like me, I like to root for the underdog. I like to go against the current. I like to create my own trends. Follow me as we try to hashtag popularize Aglaonema. I do want to shout out all of the wonderful plant foldies all over that have really embraced Aglaonemas because they really are such a beautiful plant. So for me, I just hope that more people will get into Aglaonemas, and also the neon colored varieties of plants. Like, this is a beautiful philodendron golden crocodile. You definitely need to stay on top of the lighting conditions for it to maintain its color. And then this one, I forget what this plant's name is. It is another beautiful plant, but a very fussy plant. And so we're just going to continue to pick up more and more plants. These are mostly Costa Farms trending tropical plants. If I could buy every single pink aglaonema at this Lowe's location, I will go ahead and buy it. And then you can see right here, plant foldies. Take a look at this Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue pothos. We've got those as well right next to, wait a minute, look at this. So this looks like an Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue pothos, but if you notice, there's one strand right there that either looks like a Manjula pothos. I would assume this is a Manjula pothos that just ended up in a lemon meringue pothos. Either way, $20.98. Really interesting variegation, or it could be a mutation of that particular plant, but I think that this is a Manjula pothos vine. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, what you think. You already know that I love commentary. I love hearing more about what your thoughts are. I love that engagement. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And if you made it this far into the video and you haven't pressed the thumbs up or like button for this video, definitely press that thumbs up or like button for this video, because it will help push this to more plant lovers. We are steadily growing as a plant foldie community, and it just makes it a lot more fun when we see more people in the live premiere chats. Again, most of my live premiere chats, for those that are new to the channel, will happen at 7 p.m. Central Standard USA time, and I hope you will say hello to the plant foldie community on the live chat. Now over here, you can see there are more aglaonema pink valentines. So I'm gonna assume that Costa Farms has another batch of colorful aglaonemas readily available. I'll notice that they do release a certain crop. So I'm gonna pick up all of these pink aglaonema and show you the ones that I have found at this Lowe's location. Feel free to let me know which one you would particularly buy for $20.98. It's a really good value for these aglaonema. They're super healthy. For the colorful varieties like the pink ones, you do want to provide them with more bright light in order for them to really maintain that beautiful coloration. But what a beautiful pink color for those that love pink plants. Aglaonemas, I repeat, aglaonemas you need in aglaonema. And you need to get this classic one right here, Aglaonema Red Siam or Aglaonema Siam Aurora. $15.98. This is the mascot of the Growfolge YouTube channel because it is classic, it is readily available, and it is universally found all over local nurseries and big box stores. Over here is a Xanthosoma. It is an interesting plant. It's almost related to the Caladium family. It's almost like a cross between a Caladium and an Alocasia. I do like the fuzzy petals. At one point, I thought it would have been like a plant pest when I had one, but it's actually just naturally fuzzy like that. And then we have a Philodendron White Knight right over here, $20.98. Another Costa Farms trending tropical plant. So let's just continue to pick up some plants and explore what else they have over here. example of a highly variegated golden pothos. What a beautiful plant. $15.98. Please buy yourself a golden pothos plant. It is an easy to care for plant. And look at this plant foldies. You've been waiting for this. This is a Hydra helix, or the correct way to say it is Hedera helix, or what you call the English ivy. This one, I'm not sure what cultivar this is, but you gotta love your Hedera helix, or at least I like saying Hydra helix. Please say it with me again, plant foldies. Hydra helix. And this one is the millennial ivy. I do like the millennial ivy because look at that variegation, look at the leaf shape. Unfortunately, for most of us, yes, it looks stunning, yes, it looks lush and full, but when you bring this indoors, it is spider mite magnet. Give it about 2 weeks and this plant indoors will end up getting spider mites unless you stay on top of the watering. If you want to grow this successfully, take this hanging basket outdoors in a shaded area, water it by using a watering hose, and you should be good to go. And you can see right here, this is another interesting plant right here. This one is another one that I haven't really seen. It's another type of ficus plant, but it almost reminds me of a Hydra helix, but it's not. So I don't know. It's an interesting ficus. You know, with Costa Farms, they always churn out so many amazing plants. And that's why I'm super excited to be seeing that Costa Farms will actually be at PlantCon New York City, August 30th and 31st, 2025. And I am excited to be meeting Justin Hancock of Costa Farms. So that will be a fun conversation. Hopefully I can ask him some more questions about that. But let's go ahead, plant foldies, and continue to pick up some more of these gorgeous plants that we can find. We're going to go ahead and look at some of these exotic angel plants. These vary in price. The ones in the 3-inch planters are going to be $5.98. The ones in the 5-inch planters will be $8.98. definitely a big selection of plants that this particular big box store offers. I love it so much, and that's the reason why whenever I am in this part of the state, whenever I am visiting my grandmother, I love to go visit the Conroe Lowe's location. I mean, take a look at this beautiful Hydra Helix. This one is the Gold Baby Ivy. This is one of my favorite English ivies because I love that Aurea variegation as well as the leaf shape of it. And then we have a classic Dracaena Janicrad compacta, beautiful green plant, very easy to care for plant, low light tolerant, drought tolerant. Let's go ahead and shed some more light on that beautiful plant. And then we have some fern right here. This one is for $8.98. And we're just going to continue to pick up some more plants. And as I wrap up this big box store plant shopping video, as we try to look for some budget friendly, easy care house plants, I hope this inspires people to go out and go plant shopping, or better yet, if you are trying to manage your finances, if you are trying to save money, you can just go out at a big box store and go big box store plant shopping, or better yet, just go big box store plant window shopping, where we're just literally picking up plants and looking at them. I am a huge fan of croton plants. I love the look of this particular croton plant right here. Now with crotons, they are better suited to be grown outdoors in full sun or lots of sun because they love lots of light, they like humidity, and they like to be consistently watered as well. So this one, I just like the speckling. It is such a beautiful plant. Although right now I already know that I don't have the ideal environment, nor do I have the time to really maintain croton plants. And so things that I have really honed in terms of just all of the plants we look at, we think about the plants that we've already seen. Look at this beautiful Vanda orchid, for instance. Like, I could buy it, but where would I place it? I could find a place to place it in my space, but where would I have the time to take care of it? So those are questions that I would ask all of us to kind of reflect on if we're ever really thinking about adding more plants to our plant collection. I do think that whenever you have the mindset of having a more curated plant collection versus just plant hoarding, you're going to find more satisfaction, taking care of plants, because then you're not inundated with hundreds of plants that you may not necessarily be able to keep up with. Maybe you can just have a set amount of plants, but they are growing, they are thriving, and they are just living their best life. So, that doesn't mean that I don't think that everybody should just go out and buy plants. If you really want to buy the plant, go do that. Just know that every plant you bring indoors or you buy will require some more time. They eat up into your time of the day. I mean, for me, the fact that I am somewhat struggling to get big box store plant shopping videos on a more consistent basis, I do feel bad because I was so good about just creating content and on having it already scheduled and ready to go, but sometimes life just kind of gets in the way. But whenever I get a chance to film, I do try to film several episodes. It's just a matter of really finding time to do the voiceover, the editing, and just to have something a little bit insightful whenever I am actually creating these videos. I do appreciate all the plant foldies that continue to tune into my big box or plant shopping videos, whether you want to listen to me ramble on for about an hour, or if you just literally want to see somebody pick up plants and show you plants and just give you insights. Either way, I really appreciate it. I hope y'all will continue to watch my videos in its entirety. I hope that the plant foldies will continue to share my link to many other plant lovers, because I would really love to see us reach more than 13,000 subscribers, if anything, within the next 8 weeks. So let's make that happen. Together we can grow this community. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue to pick up plants. This one is a stunning Philodendron Heteroraceum Neon, $24.98 by Live Trends Design. And you can see we've got several hanging baskets here, which I will be picking up and also showing you $15.98. This is a gorgeous Dieffenbachia, and you have to really look at how Dieffenbachia look very similar to Aglaonema. Some say, like for instance, Sean of Only Plant plants, a very famous Indonesian plant content YouTube creator. He says that Dieffenbachia are easier as compared to Aglaonema, but I really would say that, at least for me, I feel like Aglaonema are easier to take care of than Dieffenbachia, because Aglaonema can tolerate lower light conditions and drought tolerant versus Dieffenbachia that need to be a little bit more consistently watered, and they definitely need more bright light. So it really depends. It could just be the environment that they're placed in, but for me, Dieffenbachia, I love the look of them, but I just don't know if I could grow them long term indoors, because I've tried it once and I almost sent it to plant heaven. So yeah, so that's the thing. You have to, I guess, look at some of the plants on whether you can keep them in your space. It's different. Everybody's environment is different. Everybody's work, career, time of day where you can actually invest in plants and the plant care is different. So for me, I just think that it really just depends on how many plants you have in your plant collection, how many plants you're willing to take care of. And if your plant doesn't make it through, your care, then it really wasn't meant to be. But I always tell people to be gentle with themselves, to, practice forgiveness for yourself, to have grace for yourself. Because I feel like a lot of us could be a little bit super critical of, ourselves. At least I am. I'm definitely tough on myself if I'm not able to accomplish certain goals, or if there's something that I really wanted to accomplish and I just kind of fell a little bit short. I kind of beat myself up to when that happens, and I just have to be better about taking care of myself. And that really goes to show in terms of like even making this YouTube content. I love the fact that it is very much so therapeutic for me. I realize that it is pretty much the same format pretty much daily, but when you interpret and see some of the intent of my content, whether it's literally me, picking up plants and showing you plants, or if you see that I like to talk to the plant foldies directly, even if I'm faceless. And for those that are new to the channel, or have discovered me on this YouTube channel, I do faceless YouTube just because I have made a conscious effort to kind of separate my YouTube or social media presence outside of my daily, everyday life. With social media these days, some people just put themselves out there, and if you're comfortable doing that, that is awesome. But for me, I like to have a little bit for myself that is a little bit more private. I like the content I create to be more about the plants, maybe more about the conversation, and less about my physical identity, if that makes any sense. It's really interesting how some people say that that's really weird that you wear a mask, or that's really weird that you stay faceless on YouTube. Truth be told, it's a lot easier to remain that way, because then, at least for me, there is a boundary that you can create aside from putting yourself all the way out there. And then when you're out in public, maybe somebody might notice you. And I'm not always all about that attention. Some, content creators, that's their niche. But for me, I like to stay behind the scenes in that aspect. So I know I'm, rambling a little bit and I'm a little bit off topic, but you can still see that we have lots of beautiful plants. I have been given feedback before where it's like, Richie, you're just like rambling on, talk about the plants. I even encourage people, hey, if you don't want to hear me talk, but you like the plants, just hit the mute button on the video. It doesn't hurt my feelings. Whatever you are comfortable with, plant foldies, just know that at least if you go on this YouTube channel, I will pick up plants, I will show you them, I will give you your plant care tips, and I will always be my most authentic self. And I do urge everybody to do so. And that's something I've been putting into a lot of my YouTube content, is really giving that message of authenticity, trying to be your most authentic self and just embracing who you are. Because at the same time, we're all into plants, right? Plant foldies, we love plants. I would even say that a lot of us might have plant addictions, plant obsession, but you know what? That is okay as long as you're not harming your finances, you're not having, it impact your relationships with people and your loved ones. I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing that we have this community where, we can admire plants, chat with each other, just be you, as long as you know that it's not going to be causing harm or hurting somebody else. So Let me get off of my soapbox. I know that I kind of get like that as well. But you know, if you really like me, you know, Richie of Growfold, that's just who I am. And for those that have ever met me in person, just know if I am this talkative on YouTube, wait till you meet me in person. I'm definitely very much extroverted, outgoing, whatever you want to say. But that's just me. And I just find that taking this time to just talk to you guys and just tell you my thoughts, it's just very much therapeutic for me. And you know, in terms of all of the plants that we find, I love the fact that even with Costa Farms, I mean, look at this. They have a new planter. Doesn't it remind you of like a hybrid of Live Trends Design aesthetic with urban jungle plants? This is a little bit of a larger planter, beautiful one. It's definitely going to fit my aesthetics, but you know, that's the thing about big box or plant shopping. You never know what you're going to find, but one thing you will find is quality plants for a cost-effective plant price. A selection of plants that are both easy care and collectible plants. And, you know, for Lowe's locations, you definitely will not miss out on Costa Farms plants because Costa Farms is very much consistent in pushing out a lot of these plants. I mean, take a look at this beautiful philodendron white knight. Love it as well. And as I wrap up this video, I will say for those that haven't gotten into bonsai, definitely consider getting into the art of bonsai. I love the fact that it is such an ancient living work of art. It takes a lot of patience, dedication. You know, with tropical plants, you find instant gratification. For the most part, a lot of these plants will push out new growth. But if you are into bonsai, it could take more than a decade for that plant to really develop a really nice structure for its trunk, really nice ramification where the branches kind of set the way you want it. But that's the beauty of it. I think patience is definitely a virtue, and sometimes instant gratification is great, but whenever you work on something for a long period of time, I think that satisfaction is even more satisfying. I don't know, plant foldies, let me know in the comment section if you agree, and let me know what you think of some of these hanging baskets, these ceramic hanging baskets by Live Trends Design. I'm going to go ahead and pan around here and show you what plant I end up buying today. Foldies, what did you think of this nursery? And you can see that this beautiful big box store plant that I bought is a gorgeous tiger bark ficus pre-bonsai by Costa Farms, $29.98. I will have a separate video where I repot it in a shallow bonsai container using the bonsai supply soil. Again, use my promo code GROWFOLDS for 10% off of your bonsai supplies at thebonsaisupply.com. I am super excited to share my journey of bonsai, and I hope you guys will subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Richie at Growfolds. Turn on all the notification bell on, and I will definitely see you on the next one. Bye.